See, when we say Guardiola is the best coach of his era, we are not trying to say that because of the trophies he has won, even though trophies is part of it, right? Now, when you look at Guardiola as a person, right, Guardiola is a system. Now, when you bring Guardiola into your club or bring into your team to manage, right, Guardiola is not coming to win trophies for you. Guardiola is not coming to set one record. Guardiola has a template. Guardiola has a system, and he's coming to enact that system, and that system must work. We've seen it for the last 15 years. We've seen it that the system is working. His style of play is working. So that guy is a system. He has a system. Now look at his early days from Barcelona. Yeah, we know Johan Cruyff brought in the tiki-taka style of play to Barcelona, right? But Pep Guardiola perfected it. Do we talk of the players Pep Guardiola has rebranded? Both for the Barcelona, for what's it called? Bayern Munich and Manchester City. Now look at Barcelona, where in his early days in Barcelona. Yeah, Toure was the defensive midfielder, right? But at some point, Guardiola brought in Busquets. He risked it. He brought in Busquets from the 4th division, I think. And you cannot deny that Busquets has rebranded the way we see defensive midfielders today. One of the best in his position. Now, Javier Mascherano was a defensive midfielder right from his days in Liverpool before moving to Barcelona. But Guardiola converted this guy to a centre-back and one of the best in that wing. The first ever coach to win 6 titles. That means 6 major trophies in a season. Now, this guy moved to Bayern Munich, I think in 2012, 2013. Look at what he did in Bayern Munich. Yeah, many people are saying, yeah, he didn't win the European trophy. So many people tell it as failure that if Henk, who won the Champions League with Bayern Munich, and Guardiola came and he couldn't win it, most people are telling, but it's not a failure. Go and check his record. Before this guy came into the Bundesliga league, their style of play was just so physical. The pace, the speed. But this guy came, he introduced his system, right? And most teams still today in the German league still stick to that style of play that Guardiola brought in. Most coaches today reference Guardiola. Most coaches, everybody want to copy this guy. Everybody, because why? It's not just that this guy has a system, this team is working. Now, when he went to Bayern Munich, right? Philipp Lahm, right? Philipp Lahm was a right back. One of the best in his position. Guardiola converted this guy to a defensive midfielder, and this guy delivered at the highest point. The Joshua Kimmich you are seeing today at Bayern Munich, Joshua Kimmich is a midfielder. Guardiola converted this guy to a right back. Now the Joshua Kimmich you are seeing today can play for you the number 8 role, can play a defensive midfielder, can also play a right back, all due to the praise to Guardiola. Now I remember then when Guardiola was moving to Man City, I remember one of my friends, may so rest in peace, right? He was saying that Guardiola would not do anything. This is Premier League, and to me, right, I was a bit scared because I know Premier League is so competitive. But deep down, I knew Guardiola is going to leave a mark in this league. Seeing how he has proven himself both in Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Now, today we cannot deny the fact that Guardiola, right, has dominated this league. No coach comes close, both in the Premier League and in the world of football. In the last 10, no coach comes close. No coach comes close. When he came into Man City, Joe Hart was the number 1, the goalkeeping, right? This guy was good. He was the first choice for England, right? This guy was top notch at his peak. But at some point, Guardiola had to let him go, because I noticed one thing with Guardiola is the fact that when he noticed that you cannot fit into his system, no matter how talented you are, he would let you go. He would. That's just who Guardiola is, no matter how talented you are. If he noticed that this guy cannot fit into my system, he would let you go. Now he brought in Claudio Bravo from Barcelona. Claudio Bravo could not meet up to standard. That was when he brought in Ederson from Benfica. And one thing I like about Guardiola's system is the fact that Guardiola's system, you are replaceable. No matter who you think you are, no matter how talented you are. Look at Kun Aguero. Kun Aguero was, I think, the main striker for Manchester City, but at some point, Guardiola started benching this guy. And that is what I'm trying to say. If no matter how good you are, how talented you are, if you don't fit into Guardiola's system, he cannot play you. I remember in the right wing, he started with Sane. Sane was delivering to some point when Sane was not really delivering, right? That's when he brought in Mahrez, Riyad Mahrez, and that was when we saw Mahrez peak in football. So when we talk about Guardiola as a person, that guy is an embodiment of structure. He has he knows what he wants, and he's going for what he knows everything in detail. Like the game, he reads the game in detail. Like Guardiola is just the Messi in coaching form. So when we are telling you that Guardiola is the best in this new era, we are not saying that because of the trophies he has won. It's because of this guy has left a benchmark for most coaches today. Most coaches, when they are interviewing them, they always reference to Guardiola.